Hey, what's up? It's Comic 95 The Savior, and for this video I wanted to give you 10 of my own personal tips that I would advise you to use if you're looking for a serious relationship, in particular here in Japan. Now do keep in mind that most men are pretty much the same no matter what country you go to, so a lot of things on this list will definitely have to do with American men or men from any country for that matter. This is my own personal opinion. I've dated a lot, and anybody on Patreon can also back me up on that. And with that said, I have tons of experiences, both good and bad. I've made a lot of mistakes both on my own end, and I've seen other people make these mistakes too through my friends, even guys that I've dated, etc. I'm speaking to you from a straight woman's perspective on dating Japanese men because that's who I've mostly dated living in Japan. I'm an American living abroad, just to let you know. I'm 26 years old as of the making of this video. So yeah. Now that I have all of that stuff out of the way, let me go ahead and get into it. But let me just say one more time, this is my opinion, what works for me. Every guy is going to be totally different. Excuse my phone. So let's go ahead and get started. Number 1, date with intention. Now this is going to rub a lot of people the wrong way when I go into detail about this. I'm just going to make this video short. I'm not going to explain a lot of detail about each step. Is kind of self-explanatory, but basically what I mean by that is if you know that you want to get married and you know you want to be a housewife, you're not going to be a housewife, and you're likely not going to get married if you're trying to date a truck driver or some guy working at Family Mart or some crap. This is not the crap on men that have these jobs. Someone has to do it, but do you want that to be your particular husband? A lot of girls set themselves up inside of situations where they marry, make babies with men, and then they're upset about their circumstances when it's like, no, you chose that guy. It's the equivalent of being a guy and deciding you don't like plus size women, but then you marry a plus size woman, and then you're writing in forums how you want her to lose weight, and it's like, you knew what you were signing up for when you got with her. Okay, well, same thing goes with this guy. If you know that you have in your heart set up that you want to be a housewife or you want to live this rich, luxurious lifestyle, you should know better than to marry a guy that is, the assistant manager or some crap at Family Mart or, working the night shift or something like that. So do what you want to do, but if you know that in your heart you want to be a housewife, you want to have this big family and go on vacations and crap, you're not going to get it from these guys. And beyond just them not giving you that lifestyle, unfortunately here in Japan, a lot of these guys have no intention in getting married. They're just looking to casually sleep around and have fun. They don't want to pay for dates. They're not going to dress nicely. So if you care about these things, don't be with someone like that. When you're looking for a partner, you need to be zoned in and focused. This is not the time for you to be sympathetic to people that have mental health issues or looking for retail workers, etc. He's really cute. If you want to do that, then go ahead. But then you're not really dating with intention because you're just going based off of, he looks cute or, oh, that looks cool or whatever. And you think to yourself long term, what type of husband is this person going to make? Are they going to be able to provide for me? And sure, there's more to it than just being a provider, but we don't have a whole lot of time to get into a lot of detail about this, so just use your own brain. Basically, if you know you want to be taken care of, you don't have to worry about your kids being able to afford international school and daycare and stuff, you probably want to watch out what type of guys you're interacting with. Don't waste your time. If a guy is 35 years old and he's the cashier at some, Uniqlo or some crap, that's not what you should be looking for. Don't waste your time on these type of guys. Number 2, don't accept poorly planned dates. Do not be afraid to say no. I personally had to learn this the hard way, just like the first one too. You might have it set up inside of your mind where it's like, I don't really care about money, because believe it or not, I honestly did not. I used to not care about this. All I cared about is if you were cute and if you treated me well. That's all that mattered to me. You didn't have to be the best looking guy. I dated a lot of ugly guys in my earlier years. So it's like, you don't have to, I used to not be that way. You don't have to necessarily be the type of person that's like, how can I say, I'm just grateful that they took me out to a restaurant. I'm just grateful that he planned a date with me. No, don't be afraid to put your foot down. Now, of course, you want to do it in a respectful way. You don't need to be rude or disrespectful and be like, McDonald's, I'm too good for McDonald's. But, you also have to keep in mind that these guys are not stupid. They know that they chose the shitty place to take you out for a restaurant. Don't let anybody make you feel bad because you want to be taken out to a proper date and be treated as a proper woman, like a lady. There is nothing wrong with you having standards for yourself. Just like how they have standards for themselves. They decided they are not going to spend more than X amount of dollars, but you can decide, I'm not going to accept a date that's less than X amount of dollars. You have the right to do that. You're not going to get all dressed up, do your hair, do your makeup, look all pretty, and spend time getting ready to look feminine and, be all charming and cute, etc., just to be taken to a beer, some beer garden, or not even a beer garden, like some, crappy izakaya type restaurant. So do what you want to do, but if you want a serious relationship, Men that want a serious relationship too, they know this, and they will spend money and take you out to a proper restaurant, and they will normally try to take you somewhere either that they know is going to really impress you, or they're going to ask you, where do you want to go? Don't be unreasonable and rude and say something completely ridiculously priced, but it's okay to name a restaurant that's rather expensive. I personally started doing that just this year, and I can assure you it has significantly changed the dating game for me. I saved myself a lot of time, because the guys that are not willing to take me to those restaurants, they always quickly reveal that they are F-boys. And think to yourself, do you really want to date somebody on the, pretense or whatever you want to call it, of getting married, that thinks you're not even worth taking out to a decent meal? You wouldn't go to a job interview dressed in crappy clothes and don't do your hair, don't do your makeup, and just say, or as a guy, you're not going to wear a nice watch, you're not going to wear a suit, not going to wear a tie, just going to wear casual clothes, wear your anime t-shirt, and come, with your facial hair all over the place, like you just rolled out of bed and crap. Be like, oh, well, if you hire me, I'll come back, dressed up next time. No, it doesn't work that way. First impressions are lasting impressions. You're showing your job that you are serious about them by how you dress, by how you took the time and money to make yourself look good. Okay, as a woman, we are going to be judged based off of how we look, not based off of our looks later on and what we can do with ourselves, but how we look on that date. If my hair is all over my head, my makeup is not done, I look like how I do in my normal journal videos, I look crazy like that, guys are not going to ask me on a second or third date. They're going to be like, oh my god, that bitch is crazy, she's ugly, she's whatever. They're going to think I'm masculine because I'm not wearing a dress and heels and, things like that. So with that said, I have to take my date seriously and decide I want to look feminine, I want to be attractive, I want to act a certain way in order to show him that I'm serious about him. I'm not going to, be eating with my mouth wide open and, just having sauce and licking my face and licking my fingers or crap. I might do that with my girlfriends. But when I'm hanging out with a guy that I'm trying to date seriously, I change the way that I act. Why? Because I want to show him that I'm serious about him, that I'm ladylike, that I'm feminine. It's not a matter of being fake, but rather showing him your seriousness about it. Sure, your job knows that you don't wear a suit and tie every day, but you're showing them, even if, you don't need to wear a suit and tie for the job, you're showing them that you're serious about getting this job, that you want that job. So you're putting in that extra work and effort. So, a man that's telling you, or showing you, I should say, we're going to go to this crappy, cheap restaurant, I just found it, out of the blue, on a whim, out of nowhere, he didn't put in any real time or effort. You don't want to date somebody like that. They know how to put in the time and effort to find a good restaurant. I think it's called table log, whatever. I'm going to call it table log. They know how to find a nice restaurant. They've used it before. They simply don't feel like you're worth it. And it's not that you aren't. They don't see it that way. They don't want to spend that type of money. It's not that you're not attractive to that man. He simply doesn't want a serious relationship. So leave him. They're doing you a favor by saying that they're not going to take you somewhere nice. I didn't say ask a guy to take you out for a $3,000 steak or something. But being asked to take to a reasonably, medium priced restaurant is a good thing to do for you as a lady. Keep in mind that even if he does accept, or even if you do accept going to a cheap restaurant like McDonald's or something, it wouldn't be acceptable for you to wear casual clothes, just have your hair, just thrown back into a ponytail, no makeup, etc. Most guys are not going to date you after seeing you like that because they're going to think, oh, she's, tomboy, she doesn't really care about this date, she's not serious. Their brain's going to go straight to sex. Plus, because you set your price so low, people are going to treat you like that. You always find that random exception to the rule. I know people are going to be, oh, I met my husband at a bar, he took me there for the first date. Yeah, I've been engaged to a guy that did that too, but let's keep it real. Generally speaking, you're going to have better success and meet more serious people and have a better future for yourself should you get married by choosing men that only have the ability, the time, effort, and money to take you out to a decent place. I can go into more detail about this in another video, which I will do, but for right now, long story short, don't accept poorly planned dates. If a guy is like messaging you at midnight, oh, can I see you in 30 minutes? Or can we go to McDonald's tomorrow? Or can we go to, some cheap whatever restaurant? Always ask for the name of the restaurant and for a link to the restaurant and search up the place yourself. Look at the reviews, the price range, everything like that. You should want to know where you're going, and in best cases, really, you should have more control. They should be asking you what you want to eat. So for example, like if you wrote inside your profile like me, I like yakiniku, and they're trying to take you out for ramen, excuse you, I said I like yakiniku. So like, that's a red flag right there by itself. I promise you to save you so much time. I'll make another video talking about that in more detail, but yeah, don't be afraid to say no. It's okay to reject a date. You don't have to be rude and go into a ton of detail. Just say, no thank you. And then say, so why can't you do whatever? I don't like this. Didn't you see my profile? It says I like yakiniku. And then watch how angry these men get. They'll do you a favor, save you time, choose not to date them. Because any man that's looking for a real wife, real relationship, they would see it as an investment. Their goal should be to try to win you over by showing that they are a provider, that they can take care of you, because these are masculine traits. Likewise, as a lady, your goal is to show them that you are feminine, that you are pretty, and so you are going to dress up. And I'm not trying to jump ahead of my tips, but you are going to show them what type of package they're going to be getting from you. If I'm doing my part to do my hair, do my makeup, look all cute on the date, why don't you have to do your part by showing that you're a provider by taking me out to a decent place? I mean, it's actually a lot easier on the guys' end, because you can be the ugliest dude in the world, but take a girl out, for a $40-$50 meal, and you won her over just by, it's pretty simple, but we'll make a whole nother video about that. Just want to get that out there for this one. Number 3, another mistake I used to make: don't spend your own money. I know it's very tempting, especially if you're somebody that loves, gifts of affirmation, whatever you want to call it. I'm that type of person. I love gifts. It's my love language. That and, time, quality time. So with that said, I'm somebody that I project my own little love language onto other people, and unfortunately it causes me to get taken advantage of. I had to learn to stop doing that, especially if you're in a situation like me where you have the money. I'm not rich, might I add you, but I got a little cash, okay? You have the money to waste, and you end up just becoming a sugar mama for these guys. You're doing them a favor. Don't split bills 50-50. Don't tip. Don't pay the change. Don't offer to give him his money back. Don't buy him any small trinkets and gifts. Don't do anything until you are this guy's girlfriend. Until he has made it official to you, you are not his girlfriend. Girlfriends don't spend money. You're not a man. Let him do that. Your job and your goal is to look pretty. You want to spend money on him? Do your hair, do your makeup, wear a nice outfit. Anything else is a no. Just don't. Number 4, dress for the part. I kind of already talked about this, but yeah, if you're trying to win somebody over to become their wife, fiance, serious relationship, be a girlfriend, you want to look like a girlfriend. Most guys don't want to date a girl that looks like a guy. You can find people with fetishes and all this type of weird stuff, but generally speaking, a guy wants a girl that is dressed up. They want to see that you're pretty, that you care about yourself, you care about fashion, you care about your hair, you care about your makeup. They love feminine things. It turns guys on. If you don't look girly and feminine, you're not going to get nearly as much attention. I can speak for myself. Anytime that I go outside, even with the most modest dress on, I get so much attention from guys. I have never, not even one time, I have never gone outside wearing a dress without turning heads and having men approach me and ask me if they can have my line, my Instagram. Oh my God, you're so beautiful. Where are you from? Do you have a boyfriend? You must have so many boyfriends. I get that all the time. But put me in some casual clothes, people will look at me. They'll talk to me sometimes. But generally speaking, I would even say half of the attention that I do versus when I have on a dress or a skirt. And it's not a matter of it being slutty or inappropriate, because I do have those, like this one. But generally speaking, no, just wearing, this isn't a dress, by the way, this is a top. But yeah, just wearing a dress, just a normal dress, even teacher style dresses, long ankle type maxi stuff. Men fucking love them so much. It just makes guys just go all over you, okay? You ain't gotta dress like a hoe and act like one and shit like that. So what I'm getting at, I'm just saying dress for the part. You want men to see you as a wife, dress and look like a wife. Let them know, hey, if you're with me, this is gonna be your arm candy, your eye candy. This is what I'm going to look like. I'm feminine. They can see your tomboy side later when y'all move in together, or once you start dating each other actively and you get to know each other. It's okay to start wearing casual clothes, but generally speaking, when you're first getting to know the guy for the first few dates, try your best to wear a comfortable dressy outfit. You have to wear your most uncomfortable pair of highest heels or some crap like that, but just wear something that looks girly and feminine. Try your best to avoid things like pants and jeans. So many girls do that. You will stand out so much by just wearing a nice dressy outfit. And honestly, in Japan, most girls do kind of wear dresses and skirts more so than jeans and pants. But a lot of people still wear those too. But especially if you're in another country like America, where almost all girls are wearing jeans every day, jeans and pants of some kind, you're going to stand out in a good way. You will look so much better just by wearing a dress. Oh my God, especially if you're a plus size woman, there's something about, wearing a good pair of high heels and wearing a dress. It slims your legs, it slims your body. It makes you just look so good, so pretty, so feminine. Men love it. And again, if you're looking for a husband, you want to be trying your best to look like you're playing the role of a wife. You don't have to act like a wife in the sense of, you doing sexual things and spending your money and doing crap that you don't need to do as a girlfriend. But as somebody that's trying to win this position of being his girlfriend, you want to show him why he should want you over the other girls. What do you bring to the table? Like I said, men and women are different in that sense. Men are heavily visual. They care about your looks and your appearance, whereas for women, we are heavily concerned about finances. And this is, me not sugarcoating it, just saying how it is. We care about financial stability. We want to feel safe and secure. And of course, the other extra bonus to that, if you have a man that has like, money, of course we love, to be taken care of. We love a luxurious lifestyle. But generally speaking, we don't want to have to worry about money. We want to know there's enough money to take care of our children, to take care of us as a company, to take care of the household. We are, nurturers. Our goal is try to, build a nest, basically. Our goal is try to make sure we have everything that we need inside of our home and not have to worry about losing those things. Men want somebody pretty to build with. They want a wife that is attractive. They want a woman that is submissive. If you are not dressing and playing the part and you're just a really ratchet, loud, masculine woman, you're not going to get a boyfriend here. You're not going to get married. And yes, I know there's going to be some girl with some drastic, dramatic, whatever story about she's exception to the rule, but we're speaking in general. Most men are not going to find that attractive. I'm not telling you to be a fake person and put on a new personality, but you do have to think to yourself, if you want a husband and you're acting like you're a husband too, you're going to have a hard time, because most men are not going to want to be with a woman that, is trying to act super dominant, super masculine. They're going to think you need to be looking, you need to be looking for a girl yourself. So that's another story. I just want to end it there, basically saying, dress the part, wear feminine clothes, act feminine, carry yourself in a way that you think somebody's mother or wife should do. Not in the controlling, bossy type way, but you know what I mean. Look and act classy, elegant, be feminine. Number 5, be open about your goals and do not compromise. Oh my gosh, like that is like such a really big one. Do not compromise and be open about your goals. So I'm not saying for you to scare people away on a first date and be like, oh, I want to get married tomorrow. No. But don't hold off on telling your goals. Before you should be accepting a role of being somebody's girlfriend, you need to let them know right up front what your intentions are and what your time spans are. So for example, if upon you deciding to, somebody asking, oh, I want you to be my girlfriend, I want to be your boyfriend, whatever, they need to know your intention in getting married. Don't assume that guys want to marry you because they decide they want to be your boyfriend or they have sex with you. They need to know before it gets to that point, this is my goals, this is what I'm looking for. If this scares you away, then, so be it. Just say it. And of course, you're not going to say that part of it, but you get what I'm trying to say. Let them know up front that you want to get married. So for example, when I'm dating people, I tell them that, I want to get married in the next couple of years, really in the next year or so. And I let them know that I want to have children and I want to be a housewife. And if they're not okay with those things, then that's cool. They can date somebody else, just not going to be me. Do not compromise, because you will find yourself compromising yourself all the way up until your 40s. And you end up childless, single, and not having any of the things that you wanted while giving away everything that these men wanted for free. Don't do that. Don't do wife things, girlfriend things, etc. for somebody that has not even put a label on your relationship. Be patient. You will find the right person. Don't be afraid to say no once again. But make everything clear up front. So this way, again, goes back into number 1 with dating with intention. If your goal is to get married, they need to know that. You need to directly say it. Don't just, beat around the bush and hope that they understand or they get it, or, oh, I acted feminine, I did X, Y, and Z, I baked them cupcakes for Valentine's. No, that's not good enough. He needs to hear directly out of your mouth, I want to get married within X amount of time. If you're not willing to do that, then I'm done with the relationship. Don't give any compromises, no ultimatums, whatever, as long as you're being reasonable. But even then, think to yourself, if you know you want to get married within a year and your partner wants to wait 3 years, do you really want to compromise and wait another, why does he need 3 years to know whether he's sure or not? You can give all the excuses in the world, but the reality is getting married is just like having a baby or doing any other major thing like starting a business. There's never a good time. It'll never be the right time. You're an adult. He's an adult, especially if you're a graduate. Both of you guys have jobs. You both have degrees and crap like that. I just bit my lip. Both you guys have yourselves together. There's literally no excuse at this point, because there'll never be enough money. It'll never be the right time. You're only going to get older and things will get harder for you. If you really must, you can explain those things to him. Hey, look, I'm getting older, for myself. Or hey, I really want to have children. This is my timeline. And if his is not aligned with yours, find somebody else that does. Don't even waste your time trying to persuade him beyond that. If he just is not going to nudge, he doesn't understand. Oh, I understand. I want to wait. We'll talk about it in 6. No. We're not going to talk about it in 6 months. We're talking about it right now. If you cannot guarantee me that if we're still together and things are going smooth, that we will get married within this time frame, then I'm sorry, but I'm done. I'm packing my stuff and I'm gone. Don't be afraid to say no. Know your worth. You will find the right person later on. It is okay. Patreon knows this. I've literally talked to guys where within a week or two, they knew they wanted to marry me. They let me move into their place. They bought everything for me, treated me like an effing queen. I was treated like a princess. Not by one guy. I've had this happen multiple times before. I'm not just speaking out of thin air and telling you imaginary imaginary, make-believe, Disney type stuff. It does happen. And I am by far not the best looking or thinnest girl you've ever seen. And I'm still getting that sort of treatment. Why? Because I know my own worth. I know that what one guy doesn't see in me, plenty of other guys do. While you are trying to make me work and beg for the wifey card and, get a ring on my finger, I have other dudes begging for me to take one from them. Why would I settle for you? Have that same type of energy towards yourself. You don't have to be rude and disrespectful towards these guys. Just don't be afraid to say, oh, well, I really liked you, but I know that I really want to get married and I'm not willing to compromise on this. It's very important to me. So, if you're really serious about me, you should understand and, be willing to compromise and meet me, where I am. And if you can't do that, then I'm sorry. But you're a man. You might not fully understand my issues as a woman. I can't give birth and, safe and naturally in my 30s like how I can in my 20s, especially, in your mid 30s, etc. I don't want those risks, and I want to have a big family. I want to get started on these things now. I don't want to wait 3, 5, whatever X amount of years. Because what if we do break up? Now I just wasted 5 years with you. Now I got to go on to the next person, and they might want 3 or 5 years. Like, when does the cycle stop? Your time is valuable. 6 months is too long when you're over the age of 24, in my opinion. So, do whatever you want to do. I'm not saying 6 months to get married, but I mean like 6 months for someone to say, oh, I need 6 months to think about if I want to marry you. We'll talk about it then, maybe. No. Don't fall for that crap. I've done it before. I've fallen for it for years. Please don't make my mistake. If I could go back and tell my younger self, I would have never been in a lot of those relationships for even half the time that I was. So yeah, don't be afraid to state your goals and let people know up front, this is what I'm looking for, this is what I'm not looking for, and I understand and respect this is your opinion, this is what you want, but I want you to respect and understand this is what I want, and because we cannot meet each other halfway, let's just end this here before, we get too attached to each other. Let's just move on. Sorry. If he's really serious about you, he will change his mind and choose to marry you. He chooses not to, you dodged a bullet. Consider yourself lucky. You did him a favor too. Instead of having to deal with a girlfriend that's going to be nagging and begging him to marry him, he has the freedom to be an F-boy or be with somebody who just wants a short-term relationship, or some girl that doesn't know her worth and is willing to date him for 5-10 years to get an engagement ring. Just be lucky and glad that it's not going to be you. Number 6, be charming. Oh my gosh, guys, and even ladies actually love this too. Be charming. I've literally gone out on dates with guys and like female staff at the restaurant and be like, oh my gosh, she's so pretty, she's so charming. And also shocked, like, charming? But yeah, basically be not just, oh my god, the string of hair is like irritating me. Don't just be like, nice and sweet, but also remember to be humble. Nobody wants to go on a date with a girl that seems super conceited and full of herself and really bitchy. Like, oh, look at those ugly people over there. Look at those broke people. And like, just constantly fixing your bag and doing your makeup. Like, it's okay to look in the mirror, do little things like that. But if you seem super conceited, super focused on yourself, or you're super loud, obnoxious, you don't seem humble, it starts to make you look masculine. Talk really sweet. Have more, a little shy, quiet, like, tone. Nobody likes girls, most men don't, that are super loud, super ghetto, like, just too much, overpowering, overbearing. Again, there's no way to really put this. You're always going to find some unicorn man that's going to like this type of personality, but most men don't find it to be attractive. Use good manners. Be really respectful and polite to the people that, you guys are dealing with, that are serving you, the people around you. Be really sweet. Laugh. Smile a lot. Guys absolutely love girls that are really smiley. So, like, just let them see, like, how pretty you are naturally. Like, just seem like you're doing it effortlessly. Don't be afraid even to like make a little joke or two there. So yeah, just seem really charming, really sweet, really like innocent personality wise. Because nothing is better or more attractive to a guy than a girl that is not just pretty and beautiful on the outside, but that also has a beautiful personality. Especially if you also have a beautiful smile to match that. Men love smiles so much. So make sure that you're always doing that. And yeah, just take your time talking. You don't have to talk really fast. You don't have to talk really loud. Just kind of relax and just think, like, act like you're literally on a date as a princess. Not like in a bitchy type way, but like think Cinderella style, like modest, humble princess, and not cocky, full of myself, I'm the queen type thing, but have like an innocent, charming princess childlike charm to you, so to speak. Like, guys love that crap. They can't get enough of it. Number 7, reflect on past dates and relationships. So this really should have been number 10, but I was like writing it as I was thinking. So yeah, no particular order. Number 7, yeah, do some reflecting. A really big thing that'll help you out, including myself, is really just looking back and seeing where you made mistakes, what you messed up on. I do this a lot on Patreon and on YouTube in general. I talk about what I think I did wrong, whatever. I've made some videos talking about that too. take accountability for the things that you did wrong. There's no reward for being the one who was always in the right at the end of, each relationship. Sometimes you did make mistakes, and it doesn't necessarily mean that your mistakes are what ended the relationship, but rather think about things that you probably wish you didn't do with your exes that you don't want to do again. Like, make sure that you don't make those mistakes again by reflecting on them and thinking about what you could have done to handle your emotions better. I tell you guys something that really haunted me and stuck with me was me acting like a total bitch to my ex-fiance on his birthday. It was like, well, not on his birthday, but it was close to it. It was like about a week before, and I was just really frustrated because he did do some things that really made me angry, but it was ultimately my fault. I did not handle it the right way. I'm not trying to blame it on him by saying, oh, it was his fault, but I am explaining, just being honest. What he did made me upset, but the way that I handled it and reacted to it was not appropriate or fitting for what took place. I could have easily relaxed and calmed down and been like, well, I'm not paying for it. He meant well. He's trying to make me happy. He's about to go on a business trip. His birthday's around the corner. Would he act this way if he were in my position? No, he wouldn't have. So, yeah, of course, there were other issues with the relationship, but I'm just giving you one example of something that really, stood out to me, and I always regret to this day. I did not handle that the right way. I was a total bitch, and if I were him, I would have broke up with myself, and that takes a lot to admit that, because most people, especially girls, just keeping it real, don't want to say that. People prefer to play the victim role. So I can admit that I did some things to him that were not really nice, and of course you can make excuses and do tit for tat and, oh, he did this and so I did that. We can always do that forever, but it's important to focus on what you did wrong and what you should have done instead. That'll help you moving forward, and not just for the matter of, breaking up with people, but dating too. For example, this is why I talked about my tip earlier about spending money. I did a whole story time video on that, on how I was dating a guy that, thought I was rich and was treating me like a sugar mama. And so I learned from that. Don't do this. I've never done that since then. I spent thousands of dollars, dating men and, trying to impress them for Valentine's Day and giving them gifts from America. Like, I did some dumb type stuff because I had no guidance. I was desperate, just keeping it real, and because of that I made poor decisions. I learned from those mistakes. I was able to reflect back and look where I can blame the guy for taking advantage of me, which it is his fault, don't get me wrong, but it's also my fault for being gullible and stupid and trying to move things along a lot faster than I should have been. There were clear telltale signs this person was using me, but I wanted to see the best in them because I was thinking about how I feel and what I would do, and they wouldn't do something crazy and mean and bad to me like that. So just be really, really, really careful with your heart, with your money, with your feelings, and just remember, to reflect back on things. Sometimes you are the victim of something and you have to learn a mistake from being too innocent and gullible. Other times you are the abuser in the situation and you are the one that, was really mean to the person you were dating. You are the one that, said something really bad, or maybe you hit them and you shouldn't have. You should have kept your hands to yourself. Just little things like that, couples type stuff. So just be really careful to not only try to focus on what went wrong on their end, but go back and think about what you did wrong, and it'll help you moving forward, because now you know what you do and don't want. Think about things that your partner did to you in the past that you don't want to put up with. Maybe, like, for example, I think for myself, a red flag for me is a guy that has a bad relationship with his mother. I avoid people that have bad relationships with their family members. I just leave it at that. I have enough drama crap outside my own family. I don't want to deal with somebody else that has that. I don't date people that have mental health issues. I don't care for that. I mean, I'm sorry. I feel sorry if that's your situation and case, but that's something that I'm not willing to take on. Understandably, a lot of people also, feel the same way towards me. You might decide, oh, well, she doesn't have a close relationship with her family, or her family's not here in Japan. I wouldn't want to date you. Like, you have your own reasons for that too, and that's cool. I'm not here to talk about what other people do. I'm talking about myself. So for me, I personally have decided, if I see that you have, for no good reason, a bad relationship with your mother, and you decide you're just going to X her off and, whatever else, I believe you reap what you sow. I don't want my kids to do that to me, and if you're willing to just cut your mom off like that, I can't help but to think, what are you going to do if we get into it and we have a bad fight, whatever. So just keep those things in mind, things that you've experienced in the past. Take note of them and think about what you do want and what you don't want. Because sometimes you can also learn by reflecting on what you do want. For example, I think about my most recent fiance, how we went on so many trips together and he bought me so many nice things, and I didn't even have to ask him. I literally got to the point where I was having to ask him to not buy stuff because I felt that we didn't need it and we bought too much. So now I'm like, when I date guys that don't buy me stuff, like you don't buy me a souvenir, you don't buy me gifts, you don't do whatever, why would I want to date you when I could date another guy that would do this and I don't even have to ask for it? Nothing wrong with raising your standards. Like I said, what one guy won't do, another man will. It's okay to see it that way. Likewise for men. Why would a man want to date a girl that wears nothing but jeans and t-shirts when he can date another girl that dresses feminine, changes her hairstyle, cares about, wearing nice hair, nice makeup, etc. It goes the same way. They can compare you to their ex too. So, like I said, make sure that you are reflecting and think about what you can do better, and also think about what you want and what you don't want within your relationships moving forward. Number 8, be mysterious. Make sure that you're keeping yourself busy throughout the week. So don't get me wrong, some guys might really like this. Like, I can admit I'm definitely a very clingy girl at heart, but I'm having to learn. I've really been working on it this past year to be a little bit more mysterious. Don't always make yourself super available. Have your own life outside of your relationship. Yes, it's okay for your partner to be your best friend, your family, your everything, but at the same time, they need space. You're going to suffocate them. They want to be left alone. You should want to be left alone, and you eventually will get to that point too. Make sure you keep yourself busy, because the other good thing is too, by doing this, when you do break up, you don't feel completely lost and empty because you have a life outside of your partner. I literally had such a hard time getting over my ex-fiance, and I haven't really talked about this in much detail publicly on YouTube, but I will talk about it a little bit right now. I've talked about it on Patreon. I don't say this without exaggeration, and you're not going to understand me until you've been there yourself. I was literally having full-on panic attacks. My heart was racing. I would randomly wake up in the middle of the night with night sweats. I couldn't sleep. I was emailing my fiance, and because he was ignoring my messages online. I tried calling him. I went to his house. I went full psychotic ex-girlfriend, ex-fiance, whatever you want to call it mode. And I'm very ashamed of how I reacted to it. It took me a very long time to get over myself and to move on, and it did really hurt me. I was just devastated. I couldn't believe that we were really through it. I was shocked. And it took him a minute to really get over it too, because we actually went on 2 dates or something like that after that situation. So yeah, basically it's really, 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 really important to make sure that you are mysterious. Have some type of, secret to yourself. Don't tell him everything about you. Don't always message him, always call him. I'm not telling you to purposefully ignore the guy, but don't just be always available. If he wants to see you, you're available. He wants to talk to you, you're available. You're messaging him all the time. Oh, good morning, good night. Oh, I was thinking about you. Oh, this reminded me of you. Oh, I took pictures because I thought. Stop. Don't do all of that mess. Match his flow and rhythm. If he's talking to you every day, then you respond every day within a decent amount of time. He ain't messaging you freely on his own, then you need to stop too. Keep it like that. Let him plan the dates. Let him tell you when he wants to see you. Let the man take the lead. It's hard to do. I know. I'm a clingy bitch too. But you gotta let him be a man, and you do your own thing as a girl. You ain't gotta be rude and disrespectful and play hard to get, so to speak. But don't make yourself overly available, because unfortunately you will start to attract bad people. People will take advantage of you, and they'll realize, oh, I'm sorry, my hair is irritating me. Oh, she's desperate, she's lonely, she's whatever. Because that's what you are basically telling people. I have no life. I'm always available. Please use me. And people will definitely take advantage of you and use you because they think that's what you want to have done to you. So be really, really careful about making yourself overly available, because 1, it allows people to use you, and 2, it can be a turnoff to a lot of guys. They don't want a girl that's going to be messaging him all times of day. He wants to have personal time, wants to hang out with his friends, wants to hang out with his coworkers. He wants to be alone. Let him do his own thing. If you're constantly trying to make sure he's not cheating on you, you're just going to get him cheated on. The reality is, if a man wants to cheat on you, he will do it right in front of you or behind your back. You cannot stop him from doing that. So doing crazy things like trying to have his password and, talking to him every day, all day, want to be on the phone and video chat, just stop. If anything, you're going to encourage him to want to do it more. Men like you more when they feel like you're more of a prize to get. Men like knowing that they have to work for you. They don't like girls that are super easy, where it's he can just ask you, hey, do you like sex? Oh, yeah, sure, I want to suck your dick. Most guys don't like girls, but they like girls that have, a little bit of a challenge to them. Men like to feel like they won some sort of prize. So if you seem super easy and you're just always down to have sex, always available to go on a date, always whatever, just always open, always available, never say no to anything, they're going to treat you like that. It's unfortunate, but it's just the way that it goes. Likewise, the same thing can be said about men. Men that are super, I'll do whatever you want to, queen. Yes, princess, I want to buy you only the finer things. What's going to happen? He going to get played. Girls are going to have him buying, Louis Vuitton bags and, shoes and all type of crap that they shouldn't be getting. but they're taking advantage of his kindness. You don't want people to do that to you either. Be very careful. Again, it's not just a matter of being taken advantage of, but being a turn off. A guy that may have really liked you, they might lose interest because you seem too available to. It's stupid, but it's a psychological thing. It's just the way that we function and how we think. We don't want things that come to us easily. We want things that have a little bit of a challenge to it and makes it seem a little more valuable. Again, being mysterious doesn't mean being a bitch, being a jerk, and acting like you're too good to see him, too whatever. But, just stop being completely open, leaving some things to talk about for later. Because also keep in mind, the more you talk to him throughout the week, the less you're going to have to talk about when you guys actually see each other and you're sitting down in a restaurant or going for a walk in the park or whatever you guys are doing together. The less you'll have to speak about then, because you've already talked about everything throughout the week. Because you couldn't stop texting him nonstop and you couldn't stop calling him, etc. Some guys do like this, but generally speaking, it's not a good idea to do. And I'm really more so talking about the beginning of a relationship. Once you're in a permanent position and you're already the girlfriend, this information doesn't really apply to you. But I'm more so talking about for newer relationships, people that are looking for a serious relationship that want to get married. Just be really careful about being too open, too available, just not having any mystery, no leaving anything to the imagination. And that also goes into the way that you dress too. If you're always dressed super slutty, super provocatively, you're talking about sex, doing things like that, guys will not take you seriously. It's unfortunate, but it's the truth. So make sure that you leave something to the imagination when it comes to that too. So that means avoiding wearing short and skimpy clothing. Dress modestly but feminine, like I was saying earlier. Just leave something mysterious. He should have questions for you. You shouldn't feel like he already knows everything about you by looking at you and by the text messages that you send him. Let him have to ask you some questions. Don't just say everything yourself and be an open book to him. Be open if he asks you something, but let him ask. Don't just tell everything on your own. Let him tell you what he's interested in, what he wants to know. He has his own questions and curiosities about you. Let him share those with you. It'll make for great conversation, and again, it'll also make him like you more because there were some mysterious things he didn't know about you. Let him find out those things. Number 9, thank your date in detail. You would not believe how many people don't do simple things like just saying thank you. Be really, really sure to make sure that your date knows that you are appreciative of the things they do for you. So for example, every time you guys go somewhere or do something within the same day, say thank you for, thank you so much. I really like this. Oh, it tastes so good. Oh, this is so pretty. I really love this. Oh, this is my favorite color. Give compliments like that. It also gives them direction. Men love praise. But beyond just saying thank you for that, also make sure that you thank them for the overall date in detail. So every time that I'm done with a date, I always thank them for everything that we did together, and I go into detail. Oh, I really like this, and I really want to go to this place or whatever. Oh, it was so much fun. Just let them know that you really appreciate the thought and money and time and effort that they put into that date for you, and let them know it's not just things they did, but let them know that you appreciated being with him. You would not believe how many girls don't think to even say that. A lot of girls, I enjoyed whatever. I like this. Oh my God, this is my favorite. But how many of you actually tell your date that you enjoyed the time, the quality time that you spent with your partner? If you guys stayed up late talking on the phone, thank them for that. I was literally just talking to a guy the other day, and I thanked him. I was like, thank you for staying up late and talking to me. We had a whole midnight conversation about Sonic. I've never met a Japanese guy that was actually familiar with Sonic and liked Sonic, a legitimate Sonic fan. And I just went back and forth. We were talking for a good 2-3 hours late at night. And so I thanked him. I was like, thank you for staying up late with me and talking to me. I just appreciate that so much. And I'm sure he's probably never heard that before. I'm he's really happy. He's like, oh, thank you for staying up too. It just shocked him. He's probably never gotten somebody to say that to him before. So men like that. Make sure that you let them know that you are grateful for it. And just like how some children are, when you do that, they're more, or I say people, period, they're more likely to do it again because people love to be praised and men don't get thanked enough. So make sure that you show him and tell him that you appreciate what he's done for you. And make sure, especially once you guys start dating for a little while, it's okay to spend money at that point. Don't be afraid to make him a little something. You can make him a little treat or buy him, a small gift after you've got into a relationship. I'm speaking on the early stages. So, keep it within reason. But it's okay to let him know that you appreciate him through other means besides just saying thank you. Just make sure that it's within reason and not too early on within a relationship. But when you do use your words, make sure that you are very genuine when you say it. Men love and appreciate that because again, they don't get thanked enough for the things they do for you. And last but not least, number 10, which is very similar to number 9, compliment your date. A lot of people don't think to do this either. Now, I'm not saying for you to be super thirsty, oh my God, I want to suck your dick. You look like Lord Sashamu. Like, don't start getting into all the little Sasuke type weird type crap. I'm not talking about like that. But I mean, like, just genuinely compliment him. Like, oh my God, like, you know, you're so handsome. You know, your smile is so cute. Or, you know, compliment things that he probably thinks nobody notices. For example, maybe his nails look really nice. Oh my God, you keep your nails, they're really manic. We ain't talking about sexual. Okay, people, guys, stay with me here. You know, compliment his nails. Compliment, you know, I don't know, how nice his smile is, how nice his hair is styled. Compliment his style. Maybe he's dressed really nicely. His fashion sense is really good. Consider complimenting just him as a person. Like, you know, you have a really great personality. You're really funny. You're really sweet. You're really whatever, you know, thoughtful. Tell him good things about himself. Men don't get compliments very often. They're used to being the ones that give them. They're constantly telling girls, oh my God, you're so beautiful, you're so cute, you're so whatever, you're sexy, you're this. They don't get those compliments themselves. So again, don't shower him too much and make him uncomfortable, but drop a few compliments every once in a while. You don't have to do it every date, but just let them know as much as you can that you notice the small and big things that they do, but especially the small things. Men love that. For example, maybe you notice he has a matching handbag and shoes, something like that. Oh, you know, your bag looks really nice with that pair of shoes. Let them know that you notice the effort and time they put into making themselves look good and trying to impress you. Let them know that they're good at choosing restaurants. I do that too. You'll never believe how many guys have never heard that before. The girls don't say that. Yeah, they'll say, oh, like, you know, I enjoyed the date, it was nice, whatever. But how many of them have actually complimented him? Like, wow, you're great at choosing dates. You're great at planning dates. You're great at choosing restaurants. You're great at whatever. They like being told that. They might already know that. They might have even heard it before. But they like hearing it again. Just like for girls. You know how many times I've been told, oh my God, you're, even by other girls, and I'm straight, how many times I've been told, oh my God, you're so beautiful, X, Y, and Z. But do we ever get tired of hearing it? Maybe a little bit, but you know what I mean. You like hearing it. It sounds a lot better than somebody saying, wow, you're such a fat, ugly, dark-skinned bitch. I would much rather you tell me that you think that I'm very beautiful. It feels good. It makes you feel happy. I get, oh, you have such a cute smile all the time. Well, I appreciate hearing that versus having a guy tell me, which only happens online. Might also add, oh, you need braces. Your teeth are fucked up, blah, blah. Okay, whatever. So yeah, things like that. It makes you feel good. So consider that when you are talking to a guy. Think about things that you like to hear or that maybe he doesn't maybe hear all that often. Make sure that you find something that you can genuinely compliment your date on, and don't just make it a one-time thing. Constantly do it. You can just be in the middle of talking about, oh my God, like, I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. Your smile is just so cute. Or I really like your outfit. Or your hands are so pretty. Like, just whatever. Something like that. Not in a creepy way, though. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, just make them feel like you genuinely care about them. You notice them. And you're serious about them. So, keep the compliments from being sexual. Someone be like, wow, you're such a tall guy. I love tall men. Or, wow, your dick is so big. Like, not things like that. I mean, genuine compliments. You can never go wrong by complimenting somebody's smile and by complimenting somebody's hair, their outfit, their personality. These are just basic, regular things to compliment. Again, like, just keep it really light. And again, it kind of goes back into number 9, you know, with the compliments and just being grateful and thankful. Just be thankful and grateful for their appearance. They're grateful and thankful for yours, or you're feminine, you're beautiful, etc. So that's it. There's never going to be a one-size-fits-all rule book, but these are 10 things that I've learned to do and or not to do. I'm trying to find a serious relationship. Nothing's ever perfect, and the goal here is not to try to prove to somebody you can keep a man or, you know, get a man or whatever, but rather to find what you're really looking for. And it's definitely worth it to be patient, even if it means waiting a year or multiple years to find a person you're looking for. You're gonna have to sift through a lot of trash before you find the right person, and that's all that matters, is the right person. So that's it for this video. Thank you for listening and thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, please leave me a like and a comment down below. Please share any tips that you have for ladies that are looking for a serious relationship. Guys, if you're watching this video, please tell me what you think. Do you agree or disagree with anything in this list? What do you do, men, when you're looking for a girlfriend? Please share down below. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel again and follow me on my social media accounts. Everything's listed down in the description box below and at the end of this video. If you enjoyed this and want more information on dating in Japan, please be sure to check out my YouTube channel's homepage. I have a playlist on dating in Japan, as well as playlists on various topics such as working, studying, living in Japan. You can find playlists on everything from housing, working, dating and relationships, marriage, etc. So please check out my YouTube channel's homepage. Use the search bar there. I've probably already made a video answering your question, but if you have another question that I have not already answered, please be sure to send me an email or leave a comment down below, and I will try my best to answer your question in a future video. So thank you so much for watching. I wish you the best of luck in your dating and relationships, and I hope you watch another video. Bye.